Are the Steelers good and nobody's noticing? They are 11-4 in their last 15 games. I'm just asking. They're 4-2. They're 2-0 in the division. They're 11-4 in their last 15 games. They seem to specialize in winning late and close. And what else is there but late and close in the NFL?
Especially in the postseason.
Mike Tomlin is, let me get this number right, Ron, if I may, 19-6-1 over the last 3 years in one-score games. 19-7-1. 19-7-1 over the past 3 seasons in one-score games. I'll give you an example from the division that contrasts that greatly. Our old buddy Kevin Stefanski is 9-12 in one-score games. It seems as if Pickett and Tomlin love being in the muck at the end of close games. 19-7-1. Pickett is now 11-7 as a starter in spite of all his problems. So I ask you both, are the Steelers a good team and nobody seems to be noticing? It's a legitimate, honest question.
Well, people tell you are what your record is, right? They're 4-2. I do not look at them as a good team.
I include, though, the 11-4. They're 11-4 in their past 15 games.
Yeah, I don't go back to last year because, last year's last year. I'm more concerned about this year. 4-2 is really good. Look, San Francisco lost its second game last night. They're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. But I watched them play. I've been to every game. I've watched every play, and I know you have too. I don't see a good team out there. But then I look around at some of the competition, and I think, hey, they're every bit as good as those teams. So maybe that does make them a good team, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't look at them as a good team. I looked at that game Sunday as they survived, and I don't think the Rams are very good either. So they survived another average, mediocre team.
Folsey, thoughts?
Man, it's a simple question, but I think it's really tough to answer.
Complicated.
I mean, for me, it's hard not to at least consider how they finished last year because it's the same team, basically.
Generally, yeah. But
basically.
I tend to agree with Ron that I don't necessarily want to go back to last year to evaluate this year's team. I think they're a playoff-capable team. Does that make them a good team, though? I don't know.
Playoff capable because everybody else around them is no better than playoff capable.
I think they're just in the mix with all the other mediocre teams.
Other than Kansas City, who Joe pointed out in our little preview, is the one great team in the league.
Yeah.
Buffalo is not great by any stretch.
Miami.
Well,
Baltimore maybe, but they beat Baltimore already.
It's all relative. I mean, are they a good team in the AFC? Are they a good team, period? I do consider last year. Except I put the caveat on it that I really think that was built, that 7-2 finish, on an unusual stretch of brutally bad quarterbacks. I do include that. But I also have to include it's been a long time now, a long time running, where I get the feeling as I'm watching close games that the Steelers are going to win this game, aren't they? I got the feeling against the Browns, got the feeling against the Ravens as toward the end of the third quarter. Into the second half, wow, it's too close. The Steelers like that. And definitely the Rams game.
See, I'm totally different. I felt like they were going to lose all 3 of those
Really?
games into the fourth quarter. Rams had them, led them by 7 points going into the fourth quarter.
Right, but it was too close.
The offense stunk for 3 quarters. I had no feel that they were going to come back. The Ravens game, they were losing until the very end when Cleveland,
which is what Pickett specializes in.
But it wasn't Pickett in Cleveland, though. It was
Watt, that game was just Cleveland.
Watt and Highsmith. I mean, I never felt like they were going to win those games, but to their credit, they did.
At what point do we start getting that feeling, though? Because now I have to give Mike Tomlin props for winning all 19-7-1. That's a lot of close games. 19-7-1.